What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I didn't post a video last week. I was on a trip back to Canada and it took the whole day and it was horrible, but that's a story for another day. Now, I made this soup a few days ago and I posted my food on Instagram, and I promised myself that I'm actually going to post the video this Friday. And here I am at 1:33 a.m. struggling to put the video together so I can post it today. But anything for you guys. Now, this Ogbono soup is one of the easiest ones. It doesn't require a lot of skill, but there's a lot of satisfaction. I guarantee you that. If you haven't made this soup before, you're not comfortable making it for whatever reason, maybe because you think it's complex, this video is for you. Let's get right into the fun part. For this recipe, I'll be using some Shaki, some Ponmo. I didn't have a lot, but that's all I had, chopped into tiny bits. And then I'll be using some beef. This is the type of beef that I like. Then I'm going to add some palm oil. You could go up to a cup if you want, but I used that amount that you saw on the screen. And I'm using 6 pieces of knorr cubes. That's like 3 packs of 2 pieces. And then I'm going to add some salt. Then I'm going to add my Cameroon pepper. This is as much as you can tolerate. You can use other types of pepper, maybe Scotch bonnet, but I didn't have Scotch bonnet today, so I used black pepper. It's really hot. Nobody tells you about the sneezing part when you're using Cameroon pepper, so you have to quickly get away from it for a bit and then stir it in. So I've added some onions and I'm adding about 4 cups of water. I'm just going to stir that in properly and then taste it. If everything is fine, you can move on, but consider at this point that this is just how much soup you're going to have at the end of the day, and whatever taste you get from here is what you're going to get at the end of the cooking process, right? So when you're tasting, make sure that's what you're thinking about. So for me, I'm just going to add a little bit more salt, but I mean, it's literally up to you. That's why it's called salt to taste, right? So I'll stir that in properly so it combines pretty nicely, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 30 minutes. Depends on how tough your meat is, guys, but I've checked and this is not one of my toughest. Now I have this dried catfish that I got from Nigeria, and I just washed it a couple of times, and I'm going to soak it in this water for the period that the meat is boiling, right? Now after 30 minutes I had to dodge the smoke right, so it doesn't make my camera misty. So I'm just going to stir that for a bit, right? Then I'm going to add my fish. You can see it got a bit softer than it was when I started when I washed it initially. So after adding the fish, I'm going to add this marinated chicken drumsticks that I had in the fridge at some point, in the freezer more like, right? It was just 2 pieces of chicken drumsticks. I didn't know what to do with it, so I marinated it and put it in the freezer, and it's come in handy. But while I'm stirring the meat, please like this video, leave a comment, share, and please subscribe before you leave. Thank you. Look how nice I am. Thank you. You guys are the nicest actually, right? So I've added about 3 cups of water, and I'm going to add some bitter leaves. I like to put bitter leaf in my soup because it's just healthy. It helps with detoxification, I think, and it's just good for all those organs in there. That's what my mom said, so I kind of sneak it into every soup that I'm making, right? And then I'm going to leave that to cook for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes I add some potash. This is supposed to help with the sliminess of it. Look at that foam that's forming, means that it's dissolving. You want to put as little as possible. You don't want to put too much of that. If you don't have it, you can actually skip it for Ogbono soup. It doesn't really have like a huge effect like that, to be honest, right? And so now I'm just going to add my Ogbono powder. I mean, you can add, you see how this soup turns out. You can actually just add it directly. You don't. There's not a lot of technique necessary, but all those other ones, which I would show you at some point, they're just when you're feeling up to it, I guess. But yeah, it turns out pretty nicely, whether you know mix it any other way or you just pour it directly into your stock, right? And here I'm just adjusting, you know, for the thickness that I want. Depends on you at this point. If you like your soup more runny, good luck. I like my soup a bit thick because I'm storing it in the refrigerator for a few days or however long it lasts. So I like it thick. So when I'm warming, I add a bit of water to warm, right? And I've let it boil for 10 minutes. Then I'm adding some frozen spinach. Because the spinach is frozen, I'm going to let it cook for about 4 minutes. If it wasn't, I would only let it simmer for 2 minutes and I'll be done with this. But yeah, frozen spinach 4 minutes after. This is how amazing the Ogbono soup looks. Like I said, not a lot of technique today, but satisfaction guaranteed either ways. Look at how amazing that soup looks. Please, if you have not subscribed at this point, send me your address. I need to come and ask you in your house why you haven't. Okay, so this turned out to be amazing on a more serious note. And of course I went in and I made myself this really soft, succulent poundo and I ate it. And the very next day I made amala. Trust me, when I have soup, it's like the most difficult thing to not eat swallow. So I'm just begging the soup to finish at this point. This is what it looks like the very next day. This amala is healthy too, don't judge me. It's like plantain flour, acha for those from the north. I don't know what the English name is. And one other thing called toba, I also don't know what the English name is. So Momsi mixed it for me when I was coming here, and I still have some of that. I also had this the very next day, and then I packed up the rest for the refrigerator. And if you like this video, please leave a comment and give a thumbs up, and I will see you next week Friday.